guys, Cyndi Williams, Wanderlust CEO. I am so excited. I have my good friend Jason here from Blue Heron Travel Co. And congratulations are in order. Jason just graduated Careers on Vacation. How does it feel, Jason?
It's amazing. It's amazing. So many doors have opened.
I'm so excited for you, and I love doing these case studies. Um, Share with me where you were before doing Careers on Vacation and where your business is now.
Certainly. So before I was a developer, and I actually still am. I'm still a full-time developer working for the Port of Virginia. And I always had it in my heart that I wanted to run my own business, but I always thought it was going to be in the arts. When I say the arts, I do a lot of stained glass and painting and set designs for local community theater and things like that. And so it was always my interest in having that business. The problem was, is every time I thought about it, it was the brick and mortar, having a studio that sold supplies and taught classes and things like that, which I was all game for, but it was the idea of having to maintain that and getting to retirement and wanting to travel, but having a brick and mortar just wasn't my
Yeah, it
interest.
ties you to it really ties you and restricts your ability to kind of be mobile.
Exactly. So at that same time, we were booking a trip down to Halloween Horror Nights at
Ah,
Universal
I love that
Orlando.
one. I have friends that do that one every single year. It's so great, right?
Love it. Such a great production. And we actually went through a travel agent, and I, like probably many other people, were like, a travel agent? And it took a lot of the burden off of us. We got the trip, we got everything booked, reservations were made. It was fantastic. So on the way back, on the flight back, I was thinking, if travel agents still exist, I want to know more about this, and because I love to travel, and so I immediately started looking it up and found it, and tons of information on how the landscape for travel agencies have changed, and I wanted in.
I love that.
So eventually I came across Careers on Vacation, your videos, amazing. It just really kind of pulled me in. I really was like, this is what I want to do.
I love that.
It had everything I wanted out of a business: the portability, the ability to make my own schedule, the ability to travel up for myself. So it was all of that.
And I love that you asked yourself, like, what do I want to do? Not, you didn't go searching for like a business that could fit a model. You kind of started in that place of, I want to be portable, I want to travel, I want to do these things. And then that kind of floated into your atmosphere as you booked that trip, and you're like, wait, what? And it has changed. I just posted an article on my Instagram yesterday. I don't know if you saw it on that Asked article that came out about how post-COVID our industry has just exploded because everybody is using travel agents again for the security and for all the COVID regulations changing, all those things. But what we're able to do in this really unique environment is we're building businesses that for the next decade, right? Because people realize what you did, like, wow, that was great when someone else handled everything. It was a phone call and it was done and we just enjoyed our vacation. So I love that from your experience of that, you then decided to kind of go down this path. What have been your biggest wins or celebrations since taking the program?
So my biggest win was actually committing to doing something for myself. So it was a huge commitment to say, hey, I'm going to
Yeah.
join Careers on Vacation and I am going to start a travel agency. And
Yeah.
for me, that was a huge commitment. And I really had to convince myself that this was for me. This is what I wanted to do, and I had to make that happen. And so from that, my biggest win has just been working with Emily, who is my mentor and coach. She, I started on one direction with my niche being mountain resorts and getaways, and then right at the end, we kind of said, let's add some Caribbean in that. And as soon as I added the Caribbean, I started getting leads. So it was really nice to see that transition and how that's working for me.
And that's so important what you just said, because if you guys don't know, in our program, you get assigned a personal mentor and coach. Emily, who Jason mentioned, went through my program a year or two ago. So she's been using my systems, using my processes, and having huge success. In fact, she's scaling an agency right now. But you get that a personal coach, and the reason that I did that format in our program is because, like Jason said, he has a more of a niche he's building out on the mountain vacations, right? That might take a little longer because it's more of a specialized travel. But what Emily did in her wisdom, having been in the industry now, is help Jason find something else to plug in to make sure he has cash flow coming in the interim. So that's one of those things that is, we don't ever, hardly ever do we talk about it on these case studies, but that is the invaluable part of our program, is you get that real person to help you in the troubleshooting on the job phase. And that's where so many travel agents, they get excited, they, DIY, and they set stuff up and they get so far, but then they don't know how to calibrate, or they're like, why am I stuck here? Or why isn't this working? Or why am I not getting leads? So to be able to have that coaching conversation, make a couple tweaks, and then you have leads flooding into your business. That's so great. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah. That just proves that our coaching model, why that's so transformative in a big way. So that's exciting.
Very invaluable. My only thing is, I wish I had more time with my coach.
I know. But, I love that you say that too, because everybody's like, why do I need 12 weeks? I'm like, you don't understand. We are going to pack the next 12 weeks of your life are going to be fun. They're going to be exciting. They're going to be a tad bit overwhelming because we're going to give you so much. You need every bit of that 12 weeks, but you get to go to the grad group, so you're not going too far. We're we're going to keep our eyes on things over there for sure. Jason, in our program, one of the big pillars is mindset. And especially for someone like you who's considering leaving another industry or transitioning at some point into this new season, that can feel big. It can feel, oh, this feels uncomfortable. It's not what I've been doing for the last however many years. And now I'm doing this new thing. So we really plug in mindset, thinking like CEO, kind of that, how to make that transition in a bigger, more mindful way. How did the mindset work impact you either in your business or life as you went through the program?
Yeah, so when I started the program, I literally thought, oh, I've got this mindset thing. I'm a very positive person. I can talk to anybody. It's a great thing. But that's kind of a distorted definition of mindset. It goes way beyond that. And so I kind of had to step back and really just follow the program and go with the flow. And it opened up a lot of doors and a lot of possibilities for me. I was just like, whoa, I can do this, Brandon, the mindset coach, is just amazing when he's teaching his lessons. And it's just, I can't even say how important mindset is. Now, I will tell you, I learned really quickly that mindset is like a muscle and has to be exercised every day.
Yes, that's a good analogy.
If you don't exercise it, self-doubt creeps in. And I will tell you, it really hinders me when I'm trying to do videos. Video making is a big proponent to selling travel, and I struggle with that every single day. And in fact, I'm so excited to be coming to the influencer.
We're going to see you in 2 weeks in Austin. I'm so excited. I saw your name on the list. I love that.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that, with the mindset, the mindset component to that will really kind of push me over my insecurities about doing video. Because I've done a lot of videos, but I've posted none of them.
Yeah, it is, because there is such and with that mind, and I love that muscle analogy, because I'm going to use COVID as an example. When we went through 2020, I got into I trained mindset all day long, and I was like, I got into a little bit of a funk because I was like, oh my gosh, I've dedicated almost a decade of my life to teaching people how to put travel businesses together, and I had people crying, Cyndi, what are we gonna do? I was just like, oh, like it was just like all of the wind was out of my sails, and I just had to stop, and I had to go, no, you know what? Because people are counting on you to I don't know what's going to happen, but you have to be the person that shows up and like holds their hand through this process. So I made a really big decision to just get my mindset right, and it took so much work during COVID, like to do extra, and like I had to really drill down to the stuff we train you guys, like getting you in that right vibratory state and making sure that I'm doing all my morning routine. And I had to use every tool that I've been training for a decade to get myself where I could then show up in the industry and just love on people through that hard time. And it was like a muscle, because like, so I can get on autopilot because I feel like I'm great at this. I can manifest it. Like I mean, get a little bit of ego in there too. And it really will put you in check to go, no. And you can feel it bubbling up, right? Like when you go through a period of like a little bit of stress, a little bit of anxiety, whenever that happens, it used to be I would just work harder. Like, oh, let me work through it. But what I've learned is when you go through those processes, and like what you're doing with your video right now, is instead of working harder or pushing, you have to stop. You have to, instead of the hustle mindset, you have to have the alignment mindset. Why am I feeling this way? You have to really address, if you do the work up here, then you figure it out, then you can move past it, and it's not an issue in your life anymore. So yes, we're going to get into that more for sure when you come out to Austin. And I'm so excited to be doing these in-person workshops. Those are not available to the public if you're watching this video. It's only for our grads. We do continuing education workshops and things like that. So Jason's going to come, we're going to hang out in the COV office with like 8 other awesome people. We're going to do all the fun stuff. So I'm so excited for that. Okay, I lost my train of thought on my questions. Oh, I know. So next one is, a lot of people that watch these videos, they're in that consideration phase. They're finding Cyndi on YouTube and they're like, is it really that, am I going to get to work with her? Or is it as good as everyone's saying that it is? Or, when you were going through that process, looking back, what was that process like to make the decision to work with us? And also share with people, like, now that hindsight's 2020 and you've been in our program, is it really like we say it? I don't know how to explain that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, when people watch all these videos, and I don't want to give your, genuine opinion of once you've been in the program. Is it more than we promised? Less than we promised? Exactly what we promised? What was that whole process like for you personally?
Certainly, the process, again, it started with me having to sell it to myself. And I think I'm like one of those people that you mentioned, is you hear the videos and Cyndi's selling it to you, and it feels really good, and it feels like it's going to be a match. And when you get in there, will it be a match? And so you have to sell it to yourself and make that commitment that this is important to you. And so that was the first step for me. And once I got into the program, it was more than I was expecting. Not only in the professionalism by you and your team of mentors, because they are fantastic. The wealth of knowledge that they offer, the wealth of information that you give us on our weekly meetings, live meetings. It was just, there was so much information covering the basis of the business. So there was actually, once I got in, there was absolutely no regrets. And then going beyond the 12-week program, it was amazing that the tools that kept coming. So you provided us amazing tools, and by the end of my 12 weeks, I was getting new tools. And when we're talking, we had new marketing strategy, we had Wanderlust Social coming online, we had a partnership with Tiz. I mean, all of these components where we couldn't really figure them out, or I couldn't figure them out in the class. All of a sudden, it came to fruition, and I was like, this is top notch.
Yeah, because you never lose access to our mem site. That's what Jason's talking about, guys. So we have a membership site, and if you purchase my program, you have, as long as I run this program, it has lifetime access. So as long as we're actively running this program, you'll be able to log in. What Jason's referring to is we do updates all the time, like Meta, like look at the new Meta thing, Facebook, Instagram, all these, there's changes that happen every single day, and we really pride ourselves on making sure we have the latest and greatest update in the curriculum, but also the question we always ask ourselves is, how do we make things better for our clients? So we're always adding things, adjusting things, letting people know this, this doesn't work anymore because this algorithm changed, or whatever the thing is of the month, right? That's something we're always doing. And our partnerships is a big deal. You mentioned TIS, Travel Industry Solutions, and we have discounts with places like CRMs and Travelify, and tons of where to get your logos done. Like we've negotiated all these crazy discounts that now are adding up to saving you guys so much money, especially as new businesses.
Yeah.
Whereas if you did it without the discounts, you'd have to layer. And the other thing is, a lot of our discounts are, you have to you have to be an original user, meaning if you start your travel business on your own and then you come back and we have a 30% discount, you can't get it because you signed up 6 months ago, even though you didn't know how to use the tool or whatever. So I love that you brought that up, because sometimes I forget about all these value adds we're putting into the program. We do have a philosophy of under promise, over deliver. So I'm glad that you feel like you got more than we promised. Like in our contracts, we deliver everything, but then I know we say we have so many calls, but really we have almost double that on the calendars. You know, you pull up that calendar, you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is way more than I said, because we want to wow you with the extras. And also that way you can pick and choose in cafeteria plan, because we have our new agent track and our experience track, which is, you know, a little bit different based on where people are in their journey. So I love that. What would you recommend? Go ahead, Jason.
May I add one more thing?
Yeah,
and I
of
just want to
course.
throw this out because Cyndi, I want to give you a shout out for all the free content that you give out to the Careers on Vacation just in your Facebook group. Yesterday, you were online talking about branding, and all of a sudden, light clicked on that I need to go to my website and change out some of my photos, which are still mountain heavy, and get some of the beach scenes on there. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I tuned in. So thank you for even the content that we don't include on the member site.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, our YouTube channel, that's like from my heart as an educator, and because whether you're working with us or not, I want you to have those little tidbits. And I will say, and I'm sure Jason will agree, the tidbits are great, and that helps. I think they help more if you've been through our program, because then it's just like fine tuning. The real secret sauce is behind the curtain in the program. That's where we do all the build outs and stuff like that. But that was a good session we had yesterday for sure. We did one on kind of crafting your brand, and that's one of those things that it doesn't happen. You don't just create a logo and do it one time. You know, we talk about brand voice, and we talk about allowing yourself that grace to grow and all those different pieces. But I'm glad that too. And we do our special grad trainings pretty much every quarter. We have something happening in the grad group where we're on a marketing or whatever, a topic over there to continue to help you guys, which is great. So Jason, I'm sure I probably know the answer to this, but we have to ask it. Would you recommend Careers on Vacation for someone that was in your similar situation, and why?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If you feel that travel is going to be a thing for you, that you have a passion for, and that you're willing to go and check out, schedule a discussion session with Careers on Vacation, because that costs you nothing, and that tells you whether that career is going to be a match for you. And then make that commitment to yourself. I mean, how many times do you get a chance to reward yourself? Especially something big as starting your own business.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell anybody. Just start out with the conversation, see if it's a fit, and then make that commitment and go for it.
Absolutely. We do complimentary discovery calls, guys. So I'm going to just show you a little bit of behind the scenes. This is the behind the scenes of our membership site, a sample of some of the things that you get, all of the modules, all the content, but above and beyond what you get from a curriculum perspective, the next layer we have is coaching. We're all about curriculum, coaching, and community at Careers on Vacation. You get to work with real people to calibrate, just like Jason did. These are all the team members that you will interface with in different ways. And Jason, we have so many video case studies. I'm so glad to be adding you to this long list. We have the most case studies in the industry now. We are super excited about that because, oh my gosh, it's getting a little crazy with keeping track, because people are like, what's this case study that? I'm like, I don't know. There's like almost 200 in there now. So if you guys want to get that free discovery call, go to careersonvacation.com/ready now. We'll do a courtesy consult with you just to understand what your goals are in your business. If it is a match to work together, then we will talk to you about how to apply for the Careers on Vacation Mastermind program. If not, we'll still give you some great tidbits, because at the end of the day, I'm an educator, I'm an industry advocate, and we are rooting for you whatever your journey is out there for sure. But Jason, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get to celebrate in person in a few weeks in Austin. I'm so excited for that. So I'm going to give you a little more confetti before we close out the show. But thank you for joining us today. And listen, I'm your lifetime cheerleader. I can't wait to see what your business does in the next couple years. So thanks for watching today, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out all of the other content on our channel. And if you want to follow along and travel with me around the world and see how I run my amazing travel brands and get some great tips on how to grow your own, make sure you check out that other content. I'm going to drop a couple videos here. Click those links. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.